Hello, my name's Tim, and I have Parkinson's disease. First, let me just say I'm not a doctor. I just want to share my journey with Parkinson's. I've been making videos about a particular pump that I started to use by Vyalev. So this is, I guess, my fourth video on Vyalev. What I want to do now is just go to the next step. What I've talked about so far was, well, I got the pump and all the parts. And the first video, I just showing the parts because I didn't know what to do with it. And then after my doctor and a trainer got off of vacation, they were back. I could get going with this, and so I did. Then I went in to see the doctor, and we got it started. He did some calculations, and I started to wear the pump. Now this was probably a month and a half ago, about a month and a half ago when I first started wearing it. And for a month, it's really good. I've been on all the time. I haven't been off. Dyskinesia issues, not really. However, when you first start using the pump, the company does some calculations first. They calculate what is the right amount of levodopa. You stop and think, somebody with Parkinson's, like me, I might take 20 pills, and somebody else might take 30. I don't know, something different. So we're all different. We have different amounts of medication that we take. So you need to calculate how much phospholevodopa is required to be infused into your body. So what they do is they have a little equation. It's, let's see, what is it? Oh, you add up all the levodopa. So your doctor would add up all the levodopa that you take, and then he would multiply that by 1.3. Now, the reason it's 1.3 is the molecular difference between levodopa and phospholevodopa. It has a little different, it's a different molecule, and one weighs more than the other. The phospholevodopa, well, actually it weighs, I think, 277 daltons, which is the weight of a hydrogen atom, compared to 197 daltons for levodopa. Then you divide by 240 because 1 milliliter contains 240 milligrams of phospholevodopa. Okay, now that I told you all that difficult equation, whatever stuff, I just wanted to show you it is complex, and we as patients could really care less about any equation at all. We just want it to work. And I brought it up because I just want to say my doctor is an excellent doctor. The calculations were done by the company. So they get all this information from your doctor, and then they have so many milliliters, the rate and the dosage and all that calculated, and that's the way it's sent to you. But then my doctor, he made some adjustments at the very first time I wore it. And he did the proper adjustments because for the past month and a half or so, I was following what was going on, and I did have a little bit of issue, not that much of an issue, but let me just say the change was such a small change. He did a great job on calculating this. It's really good. Okay, when I first got the Vyalev, he took the numbers that the company came up with, and he lowered the numbers just a little bit, I think, because he knows me. He knows he knows me better than whoever, anybody. So he lowered the numbers, and then I'm going for about a month with these numbers. But every day I'm, this happened, this happened, this happened. Now that entire month, what had happened was I did get dyskinesia once, pretty bad. And I wasn't really I was on all the time, but not the best on that I could be all the time. So as an example, I'll give you some numbers. There's a base, a low, and a high. That's what they calculate. The base, you have it on that pretty much all the time. So many milliliters per hour of phospholevodopa. So the first time I started wearing it for the month and then started following it, my doctor put in, I got it written down here. Let's see. Oh, okay. So for the base, it was 0.40 milliliters per hour. That's what it's always on at the base, 0.40 milliliters. And then the low was set at 0.30 milliliters, and the high was set at 0.45 milliliters. Well, that's what it was set at for a month. Every day I would see what's going on, and I could change it, like put it on low if I go to bed, sleep. You don't need it on medium. If I'm going to be doing a lot of work and doing this and that, and exercising, I could put it on high if I want, so I can do what I want with it. Now for that entire month, one time, well, a few times, it was on base, and while it was on base, I wasn't on all the way. I was on, but it could have been better. And then one time I put it on high, and when it was on, that was 0.45. Put it on high, I had dyskinesia that was not fun whatsoever. So when I went in, a couple weeks ago, we made some adjustments. Now the adjustments weren't that much, just little changes. The base went from 0.4 to 0.38. Not much of a difference. The low, he raised it from 0.3 to 0.33, because when it was low, I really wasn't quite on all the way. But when it was high, the one time it was on high, I had dyskinesia. So making those little adjustments ever since then, been great. I'm on, no dyskinesia, everything looks good. I do have one other thing I want to talk about. You might stop and think, well, I have this infusion pump working great. I'd like to take a shower. Can I take a shower with this? The answer is yes and no. The pump itself cannot get wet. However, you can get ready for the shower by stopping the pump, unplugging it from the cannula. Well, actually, this is not my belly. I put this together, but that's a cannula. And once you take the pump, put it off to the side, you have this little, where is the camera? That little clip right there that you can slide in just before you take a shower. Whoops, there it is. I put it in. And now you go ahead and take a shower. When you're all done, you get out of the shower, you take this off, plug in the tubing for the infusion, turn on the pump, and you're off and running again. Now, in my case, I not only have the pump, I also have ileostomy. So I like to take a shower. Well, I can still take a shower even with an ileostomy. So on half of my belly, I got one of these. It's a bag because I don't have a colon. But up here, there's a little filter for air. I just take one of these and put it across there so water cannot get in there. Take my shower, get out, dry off. Of course, take that back off so the filter is working again. I thought of one or two other things I learned about the Vyalev and me. I mean, we're all different, so things might be a little bit different with you. But this past month, I thought I had an issue, but well, I showed you this. The cannula right here. Now, what comes out of the cannula is the tubing that goes to the pump. Here's the tubing when it comes in the package. You can see it's coiled up. So what I did when I had a problem, I thought, I took the tubing, I plugged it in. Oop. I'm throwing this away, isn't it? I'm not going to use this for sure. And then I tape this, where is it? There it is. I tape this to my body. And then, of course, the other end here goes into the syringe and the pump. Now, if you look, how do I get this? Let's see. Now when I plug this tubing in, you see, because it was coiled right here, it's kind of coming up and away, and it was pulling the cannula away from my body. You see how it's pulling it up. So I thought it actually hurt a little bit because it was pulling the cannula away from my body. All I had to do was to take this and turn it over. So you take this, turn it over, put it in this way, and then you can see that is not up and forcing this to, like it's pulling it out. It worked just fine. So bottom line on this issue that I did have for one or two times, just turn the thing over, turn a tube over, and it won't pull on the cannula and try to pull it out. And then the one other thing that I wanted to mention, placing a new cannula. So one of the things that happened when I would take out the old cannula, some of the medication would drip out and get onto my shirt. So I thought, well, I tried, different things, but one thing I tried was I kept the old cannula in place, put a new cannula in, got it all set up, and I kept the old one in for like an hour and a half. And when I did that, the amount of medication that dripped out of the old site was not that much. So that seemed to help by keeping the old one in there for a while. If you didn't skip the part where I was showing my belly, you probably noticed that I had a bruise or two. Well, I'm on a blood thinner. So I have a feeling I had one or two bruises out of many, many, many times of putting on new cannulas because of a blood thinner. As for the Vyalev, the pump, I think it's great. Works wonders for me. So anyway, thank you for watching.